Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today for you I have another video of a reaction. Manchester United vs Burnley. Here we go.
Better hide your baby or I'm just playing. Blow it up.
really good stuff. You eating your food?
Yeah.
Good boy. kiddo? What are you doing, kiddo? Are you going to watch Reaction Burnley? And I saw you smile. emojis, babe. Love you, Faye. Ah, it's about time. You're cooking on here. Yeah, it's your time. On this occasion, you so happy to see you. Happy for come. Put the cookie on the cookie to town. All right. Love you, son.
Oh, look at all the lovely people. Boop, 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 boop. Eee. I'm gonna watch something. Oh, look at all the long. They're not that, geez.
They wanted. But it's a big player to be talking in that manner at a club like Tottenham. It's unsettling for the rest of the squad because they expect something like him to stay, obviously to sign a new contract. How is the club going to deal with it?
Since Jose Mourinho's arrival, Christian Eriksen has not featured in his starting 11.
When the team needs the ball, he moves the ball better. The team is a little bit more fluid.
No, right. His agent controls everything. And his agent, there's no dialogue between them.
He's done it again! Musa Sissoko! London! From inside his own half has scored one of the best goals! Burnley were well-established Premier League force. Jose Mourinho said that his side have conceded too many, but it's about improving the defensive process.
Spurs have won just 3 of their last 9 Premier League matches. Today's opponents are Burnley, a side that beat them last time they played.
So they know, boys, in the first 10 minutes. Come on.
That's quick transition, huh? Quick transition, then it works. Let's play.
Oh, boy.
Speak to me or you?
Come on, lads, dale! It's okay, we're coming out. Come on, mate, come on.
Okay. Go. Okay, it's my turn today. Yes, fight. Yes, second balls. Yes, pressing. Yes, intensity. But the most important thing is your confidence to play. In 2 hours, we are 6 points from the Champions League position. You are 2 hours away of your dinner, and you have a day off tomorrow. Fucking hell. We don't need more motivation to win this game than this altogether. Come on, eh? Come on.
Just the one change from that defeat at Manchester United. Eric Dyer comes in for Harry Winks. Tanguy Ndombele misses out with a groin strain. On the Spurs bench is Christian Eriksen, who's yet to start in the Jose era.
Spurs and their captain Harry Kane start quickly.
Wow, what a goal! Harry Kane, that is exceptional. Lucas Moura has stabbed it in. Tarkowski under pressure from Vertonghen. Son breaks forward. Oh wow, what a run! Heung-min Son from inside his own half has scored one of the best goals of his Spurs career. A standing ovation in North London for a Heung-min Son special. Brings a brilliant first half to an end. Spurs have been sizzling.
A lot of improvement, a lot of amazing things. But the game is not over. They are fighters, they go until the end, Can we improve? We can improve. First of all, the 3 points are not in the pocket. We need to win. Second thing, I think the clean sheet should be a collective objective. A collective objective. And even if you are the striker, if you are the left winger, the right winger, whatever, you have to participate in that objective. Come on. Come on.
Still going. Brilliant goal from Kane. Harry Kane second, Spurs fourth. Kane back to Sissoko again. Sissoko! He's done it again. Musa Sissoko.
First time a Jose Mourinho side has scored 5 goals in a game in any competition.
Jose is alongside me. Jose smiling. You must be absolutely thrilled with that.
Yes, I'm very happy. The result, the 3 points, the clean sheet. It was a good work by the mental point of view. We were much more aggressive, we pressed better, we won first balls, we won duels.
Heung-min Son's goal is the goal of the season so far. Would you agree with that? Because, I mean, it is pretty special, isn't it?
As soon as when I got the ball, I tried to pass it to Daddy, and I was waiting, he's moving. I couldn't find him, so I just tried to, let's go. And yeah, I think it's a bit luck as well. The pitch was long, and
Man of the match. He's the man of the match.
no.
We haven't made that decision, Jose, but
Everyone.
we think so.
I think I'm happy to score this goal. I think it's the best goal in my life.
역습을 시작하는 토트넘 스포. 자, 중계 득실 수가 없어서 본인이 지금 직접 가요. 손흥민 달려갑니다. 손흥민 뛰어갑니다. 자, 손흥민입니다. 손흥민.
Outside his own 18-yard line when he picks up the ball. And then he scores. Just incredible.
I came here for meeting Sonny from Korea.
So are you smiling and waving at every car?
Yes, cause if I say hello and smiling, they thinking Sonny's country is very nice person. Sonny is very famous. Every Korean person likes him. Is if Korean person doesn't like him, he is not Korea. They is not Korea.
Captain of his national team, Heung-min Son, or Sonny, is one of the most famous people in South Korea.
I don't like to speak about South Korea because people who expecting I'm a superstar, but I mean I'm not.
You can't be just a normal guy when they're willing to fly 8,000 miles and wait outside the training ground for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, really grateful they're coming to the stadium. You know, when you see so many fans, of course, I'm so proud of this when I see this. So give me a lot of energy, actually, lot of energy. But in South Korea, it's just normal life for me.
Move on to next, shall we? Everyone can get through, yeah?
Son
Arnold's goal the weekend was unbelievable, that.
It's incredible.
Did you watching it? It's unbelievable how he...
It's incredible.
Almost the whole of the team tried to stop him and he still got through.
Incredible.
And also the energy from almost the whole pitch. But it was good to win in style.
The win over Burnley is Tottenham's biggest in the league this year. And it's achieved without Christian Eriksen.
Morning, Christian. You all right?
Hey, Chris.
If I'm not playing, of course, I'm going to be upset. As a footballer, you want to play every game. Tottenham as a club, it's been my home for 6.5 years, where I've really felt the love coming to the training ground, coming to the stadium, playing the games. But ever since I said that I want to try something new in the stadium, this season's been on and off. But I get that because they want the best for the team.
You think there's definitely no way to turn him in your conversation?
Can try once more. Hotel.
At least then you know you've tried everything.
Yeah.
The 5-0 win is the first game Spurs haven't conceded a goal since Jose's arrival. At the heart of defence are two players from Belgium. 30-year-old Toby Alderweireld and 33-year-old Jan Vertonghen. Friends since they were teenagers, their partnership has been a Spurs mainstay for the past 5 years.
I've known him for so long. I moved to Ajax when I was 16. He came the year after. Went to the same school in Holland. When I was family, I know a lot about him. He knows a lot about me, and we're together every day.
I think playing with Jan is more like I'm so used to it. You know, I think I play more games with him than without him.
Both players are now in the final year of their contracts with Spurs and have been discussing their futures with the club.
The chairman's job is to sustain the club and to look after the club as a whole, not just in terms of just the first team and the next Saturday's result. There can't be any sentimentality. I think when it comes to Jan Vertonghen, there will be a business decision taken as much as a football decision. I think you've got Jan Vertonghen and you've got Toby Alderweireld, and it may come down to a choice of one or the other. I think also the older a player gets, clubs get very worried about resale value, about the value of the asset. So you've got to be careful in terms of how long a deal you give him.
We both out of contract in the summer, so we've been talking about it a lot. Like every day we talk about our future. You know, I think Tottenham is a very stable club. We've proven that over the years.
That's good. Keep going like that. That's good. Just keep that speed.
It's a nice club, nice people working on every level. New stadium and playing Champions League nearly every year.
2, 1, that'll go soon. Halfway, let's go.
You know, it's just a good place to be. I cherish every moment when I go outside. I enjoy being a ball player and definitely for Spurs.
If I told you how much they cost, you know the wall, isn't it? So they must be expensive.
A guy that works with me has the worst socks ever. With balloons, with balls, with big stripes.
You need the crop trousers as well, yeah, higher trousers.
I like. You have more? You have more?
Yeah.
I like. Can give me one of them.
I know Ricky since I was a little kid. Ricky on his teenager period. Trousers.
Until now it's true. Until now it's true. Yeah, what have done?
And walking in the city like. See or no?
Until now, right.
Now show the pictures. Show them the pictures.
Jose and his staff are preparing the team to play against Wolves. This is the first of 2 big games before Christmas. Both matches are against teams that are above Spurs in the league.
We were 12 points behind the 4th, Chelsea. And we can be next week 3 points behind them, which give us a complete different perspective for the rest of the season. We were 12, and next week we can be 3. That means that this game against Wolves and the next game against Chelsea, for me, are the games that can accelerate that process.
So this is 7th versus 8th at kickoff.
Wolves, this team is very aggressive. They press, they go on 50-50s, they win the duels. You see the profile of the team, and it's difficult.
Lucas Moura. Oh, what a goal! How on earth did Lucas Moura do that?
If you go there, Mickey Mouse mentality, they fuck us. Doherty, aggressive. Traore, powerful. Johnny Castro, bam, more aggressive. Even if you are winning and you think the game is under control, the game is comfortable, with this team is not comfortable. They can create chances, they can score goals.
Adama Traore has rattled it into the top corner. And it's Wolves 1, Spurs 1.
This is a game that demands a lot from you. Demands that aggression. Demands the attitude. Demands that ambition that we need. We have to win. We can make top 4.
Into the final 5 minutes of the 90.
Wolves have a free kick and a chance to grab a winning goal.
Near post to Gazzaniga has parried it away to keep it at 1-1. Spurs' hope of a win still hangs in the air.
Spurs survive. And Jose calls for Christian Eriksen to come off the bench.
You want to play every game. It's your own life, your own career. You play to win, in good and bad. You play on the pitch as a team.
So we're into 4 minutes of added time. And it will be a corner, and Eriksen will take that. Vertonghen is unmarked to place the header home. Super Jan Vertonghen. Spurs may have won it in added time. And it's Super Jan to the rescue at the end. His header in added time has given Jose Mourinho a second away win in the Premier League this season.
Jan's goal propels Spurs to 5th in the Premier League.
Vinny was swinging on
They are
it.
now just 3 points below Chelsea.
Did you eat all the little chocolates?
Hey. Mum, can I have one from there?
Yeah, of course you can.
Thank you.
During the game, you just like, doesn't matter how cold or wet it is, you just go for it, you know. But then once you come in, you realize how the conditions were, you know. It was crazy. I think that ball came, I just closed my eyes and I had it. Lucky that it went in. I wouldn't say I was struggling, but I was having a hard time. I had a hard time. But it's good because now the only thing people remember was me scoring their goal. So.
That goal against Wolves as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
A few days after their victory against Wolves, Jan delivers supplies to the North Enfield food banks.
Well, do you want a curly
With
whirly?
Christmas around the corner, their help is essential to thousands of local families.
So, boss, you good? Yeah, good, man. Yeah, I've come here for 5-6 years now. I was very impressed when I came here the first year. You know, the work they do and what I like about the concept of food bank is like whatever you do, it helps the people in a direct way, and they've got lovely people working here. So yeah, I start creating like a certain connection with them.
If you could sign that photograph. I've got 4 photographs because I've got 4 granddaughters. So.
Oh wow!
And they live in Holland. And sometimes we stay over to have a night in Belgium. You come from St Nicholas?
Yeah, you drive past it, huh? There you go. No, of course. Yeah.
Spurs going to win the league, yeah.
Thank you so much. Good luck against Chelsea, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. Take care. See ya soon.
Jan and the club have spoken a number of times about a contract extension. Most recently last summer, when Jan hadn't decided where his future lay.
Because I'm reaching certain ages now, and I want security in my life. Like, I like to plan ahead, and it might be that in 2 months I have to sell my house, I have to move my kids out of their school, and I don't even know where. My daughter, she loves her school, and she can't wait to get to the next year, and I'm not even telling her that there's a chance that she won't go there.
Jan's future at Spurs is still in doubt. But the club has reached an agreement with his friend, Toby Alderweireld.
I'm getting in a stage of my career that I don't have 15 years in front of me, so I have to choose where I'm gonna play. Do I see myself playing for another club? Not really.
She has no idea what's going on.
When she's 18, she's not saying you're a good dad.
Toby's new 3-year deal is worth a reputed £20 million and will keep him at the club until he's 33.
Thank you very much. Thank you. There are all sorts of things you have to think about, not only yourself on the pitch, as well for your family. My family is happy. I get my second.
The amount of the games that the players have to play, but I think the new managers that they arrived into the British game, some of them they haven't really embraced what the British football is about in this period. You want to play football, the players love playing games. What you don't want is to be in the training ground and be training. What you want to do is be on the pitch, and I think it's a bit more, that moan is more about the situation of the virus, I would say, that the fixture congestion.
And the managers, Thierry, are the spokespeople for their clubs. As a player, did you relish this particular period of the year?
I relished everything.
Right answer.
No, but everything, in all fairness. I mean, the boss said it himself, is that I think everyone is mixing COVID and the festive period.
Yeah.
I do understand that now, because of what's happening with COVID, that some managers are like, hang on a minute, this is happening while we are playing the most games in the league. I get it, but it always have been. It always will be. Well, I think this is part of the culture here. People go on Boxing Day and watch a game, New Year's Eve, or whatever it is. So did I relish it? Yeah, I did. There is a game you play. I'd rather play than train. And I'm not saying I didn't like to train. I'd rather play.
Don't need to worry now, okay?
than train. But I
do Belgian bosses next door. So.
I do understand the fact that, like I said to you, that people, are I think confusing the COVID and the fixtures, because if there wasn't COVID around, I think people wouldn't have complained so much. Especially teams at the top. Let's all be honest. They have players to be able to deal with that, and Liverpool the other day didn't play, and then ended up not winning at Leicester.
Yeah. And when you look at the other leagues, now it's good sometimes when you are a neutral part away from the British game and you see other leagues would love to have those fixtures. In Spain, they've been following all these group of games in the British game, and I think that's something that is going to carry on. Rather than stopping here, I think it's going to take on another leagues around Europe.
Well, one of the big positives for United this season has been the form of this man, David De Gea. He's been at the club for over a decade, and in recent games, he's looked something like being back to his very best, and he's been in conversation with James Cooper.
You sure you don't want to play?
I'll play after.
How long?
9:15 it starts and it's for an hour and a half.
Oh, so it's about.
How long I've been here.
9:50.
Unbelievable to play for this club.
How has he reached that? Because he's the best.
No, 9:45. If it's for an hour and a half.
Added
More years to
time.
come, more games to come, and more trophies to come as well. It's been a difficult year for everyone. We've not been at the level that we should be.
And more calamities for Manchester United.
It's a new year coming, so hopefully we can improve. We have a good team, we have good players, but the results are not good enough.
No club bigger than Manchester United.
You were in the last team to win the Premier League title. How vividly do you remember 2013?
Well, I think it was one of the best years of the club. I remember Van Persie, he was on fire every game, he scored many goals. Winning the Premier League was unbelievable feeling and unforgettable.
Sir Alex Ferguson only missed 3 matches during his time as Manchester United manager. One of them was his son's wedding, one was a funeral. Do you know what the third one was?
Yeah. He has to come and see me playing when I was in Atletico, so yeah, that means a lot for me when a manager like Sir Alex just miss a couple of games just to watch me, of course. He was like a father for us, for the young people. Just apart from football, he was always there to help you in the bad moments. You have to be very, very strong in mind to be a Manchester United player for sure.
A day to forget.
At times it felt like annihilation. Another poor showing, all things considered.
If you are a top quality guy and you tell the world, then you learn from those mistakes, and by the looks of it, he's learned from that.
I always believe in myself. Of course, it's difficult to be all the time. Are you 100% playing, saving the team all the time? So sometimes you don't make those saves and a couple of mistakes, and people forget everything you did.
Fine save. Heroics from David De Gea. What a save that was, by the way.
And I don't have to prove people how good I am. I just show myself and put myself under pressure. It's difficult to see the team losing games, not just this season, the seasons before. It's been very tough to be here. To be honest, I don't know what to say. It was embarrassing. It's another nightmare. At the beginning of the season, I was say, come on, we have a team this year to achieve good things, to win the Premier League. But then we are dropping points. We are not playing as we should play.
I will try to help these outstanding, talented players to try and keep away from their own goal.
Ralph Rangnick's arrived. What's he changed?
He put very intense training sessions, high tempo all the time. You cannot relax. So the team is there, the players are there, focus, training well. To be honest, we all want the same. We want to win. We need more. We need a bit more. We need to improve more. We need to play better. I think first of all we have to finish with the top 4, finish on the Champions League position. I think this is the main thing at the moment.
Sir Alex Ferguson is 80 on Friday. I imagine he'll be demanding a victory against Burnley just to make his birthday perfect, won't he?
Yeah, for sure. It's a big game because we know Burnley is always a war. Hopefully we'll try to win this game for the fans and for Sir Alex.
And he is the only United player to have played every minute of this Premier League season so far for United. And Roberto, it doesn't seem that long ago that 1 or 2 were suggesting that his best days might be behind him. In recent games, has he proved that not to be the case?
I think he's reacted in a fantastic manner, not just what happened at club level. I think what happened with losing the #1 for Spain, missing out of playing European Championships. What I like about David De Gea is that when he makes a mistake, that doesn't affect his confidence for the next game. You can see here real actions. He's very agile. We all remember the young, weak boy that he came from Atletico Madrid, and it took him probably 6 months under Sir Alex to get that strength, that way of being able to be a goalkeeper in the British game. But all these actions, the amount of goals that he saved is amazing. And for me, the maturity that he's developed, and he's been 10 years in Manchester United.
Amazing.
How many times we were looking back before who would be the replacement of Peter Schmeichel? It was so difficult to be the #1 for 1 season, never mind for 10 seasons. I think we underestimate what he's done David De Gea for Manchester United.
And Thierry, when you're looking at players so far this season who've delivered for United, Ronaldo's an obvious one. He's another. Who else would you add to that list?
Still, I think Fernandes can be in there. Fred. for me, has been finally reaching the level that people were expecting him to reach in recent matches. But I'm gonna have to stay with De Gea. I know people are talking a lot about Ronaldo and scoring goals at the end of the game to winning games, but De Gea put them in those positions, in those situations for Ronaldo to be able to win the game at the end of the game. So, yeah, I mean, if we're talking about a keeper, I always say, and I'm gonna go after this one because I can see that we need to go somewhere else. No, but it's just the fact that it's not how you fall, it's how you stand when you get back on your feet, and he did that.
And where does this leave Dean Henderson, Roberto? Because he came back to the club after that loan spell with Sheffield United, 13 Premier League appearances last season, can't get a sniff this time round. A lot of reports this week that he's looking for a move. Is he just going to have to bide his time, or are they going to have to struggle to keep hold of him?
It's very difficult when you taste first-team football in terms of playing week in, week out. It's very, very difficult to become a number two. And when you see that David De Gea is reaching that level, then it could get quite frustrating. I think that's very personal decision. There is no right or wrong. Should he be playing? Well, being a number two in a club like Manchester United, it could give you a fantastic moment, winning titles, preparing you for the future in the career, but it's almost what you are prepared to do. I think Dean needs to make a decision based on what he really wants to do and master it.
So for most teams across this festive period, it has been a busy time. Not so Burnley. Tonight, their first action in nearly 3 weeks. Let's hear from Sean Dyche with Gabriel Clark.
Sean, after an 18-day break, the longest of all the Premier League clubs, are your players raring to go, or might there be a bit of rustiness?
Well, I hope they're raring to go. Great venue to come to, obviously. We'll see. We'll see once the first whistle goes. See how sharp they are.
No Nick Pope, no Jay Rodriguez. Why is that?
COVID, them two. We've also got Josh Brown who've gone down as well. Kevin Long as well, but they're on their way back. So that we're hoping that 2, maybe 3 of them will be back for the weekend.
And was Maxwell Cornet close to making a return to the squad?
Yeah, he's closer, but we've still got to be careful. You know, he's still getting used to the Premier League, the fitness side. He's had a couple of moments when his body's just about there, and then unfortunately got a knock and had to regress, if you like. But he's getting fitter again, and he's getting closer.
And Aaron Lennon comes in. What's the thinking tactically in terms of the way you'll approach it?
Yeah, I mean, coming out the sort of number 10 spot, he's done that before, you know, very close, and he's done it a couple of times, let's say, pre-season and stuff like that. You know, just bringing that bit of fizz to our attacking force, hopefully, a bit of pace and trying to take them from our
And what's the break enabled you to work on it in a positive sense that you might implement?
Well, it's not been that easy because obviously we lose bodies. So you're trying to work with the team and then you lose bodies, you lose games, and then you have to reformat the schedule physically and try and keep the players sharp and finding that balance really between rest and recuperation, but also keeping them fit enough to play. So we'll see how it comes out tonight.
And a win takes you out of the bottom 3 tonight. It would be a wonderful way to end the year. What's the key thing you'll emphasise to the team?
Well, you've got to play well. You've got to work hard at these grounds. You've got to work hard at every ground, but particularly at these grounds, you've got to play well. You might need some big performances, you might need them on soft ones. So you normally need things to align for you at these kind of places.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Roberto, they're 5 points worse off than they were at this stage last season, but they've just had 3 games postponed in a row. They're in the relegation zone. Are you more worried about them this season or less?
Well, I think obviously Sean Dyche knows the fight that they have. I don't think it's anything new. If it's more points or less points than last season, it's not going to change. I think he's become a real master of collecting £40 a season, and you're looking at the bottom 6, and you would worry for other teams that probably they are not used to be in those relegation battles. I think for Burnley, they are a very experienced team, only a couple of 20 years old. That will worry more in the longer term. There's an aging team that I'm sure that Sean Dyche is trying to change, but now is in a moment that this team is very capable of getting the points that they need this season.
But they're so well drilled, not just the manager, but the players in this kind of situation, Thierry.
They know what they need to do. I was looking at obviously the monitor when the boss was talking. They're laughing. You know, you don't see that it's a team that are at the bottom of the league, but what they need to do is making sure that Chris Wood can start to score, because that's when they went on the run last year, when he started to score and getting some points as soon as possible.
But the lack of action, you look at the last 6 games, and it stretches back to October the 30th, underlies just how many games they've missed out on. That mad sharpness, how big a problem might that be tonight?
It might be, but a tiny bit less when you wait and counter. Now the guys are going to have to do the transition game might suffer. But the others that are staying put, waiting, defending the box, I'm not saying it's easy, understand me well, but the guys that are going to have to do the transition, like Lennon and the guys on the side, might struggle a bit for a little while.
But how much, Roberto, if you were in Sean Dyche's shoes, would you be reminding his team of what happened here 2 years ago? Because they came away with all 3 points, didn't concede and scored 2.
Well, they're always competitive. Remember, this season they already got a draw at Stamford Bridge. You can see the images here. They scored 2 goals. One comes from a long ball, another one is from a throw-in. They need very little to create threat, and it's that intensity and those quick attacks that they're going to be a real presence in the box. But this is the real problem that Burnley had in the last 3 games. They don't score enough goals. They don't create enough chances. 1 shot on target in each of the last three games.
So how then do we get this man firing in 3 Premier League goals all season?
Well, we've seen it with when Maxwell Cornet has been around him. He's become a focal point. He's a real target man. Thierry, you really like him as a finisher in that setup. But he is the man that he can create that goal-scoring threat. As a team, defensively, they're so well drilled. The defensive intensity, the distances, almost the effort. And Chris Wood has found a wonderful niche. Those finishes are at the highest level.
That's a hell of a finish. This is what they usually do. They don't usually mess around when they're in and around the box, as we saw with Rodriguez, the goal that they scored before. Whenever they have an opportunity, they try to shoot and put the ball in. At the minute, they don't put the ball in a lot, they don't shoot a lot, and they don't create a lot. That is the worry. Because when you put the ball in the box for this guy that we see right now, he will eventually put it in the net.
Maxwell Cornet not available tonight. Jay Rodriguez not available tonight. So Aaron Lennon gets the nod. A rare Premier League appearance for him for Burnley this season. What does that bring to this side this evening?
I think you can see the thought on Sean Dyche to try to get Aaron Lennon's experience. He's a player that he runs with the ball. He's got that dribbling ability. The pace with the ball would be essential today. Every time that they win the ball in a deeper position, the counter-attack, running away from McTominay and Matic, and being able to get those rooms in between the back 4, I think is a very, very important tactical point for Burnley's performance today. Aaron Lennon could be a real strength of this team.
I mean, Nick Popehill, Thierry, Wayne Hennessy makes a rare appearance as well for Burnley tonight. His first Premier League appearance, but my goodness me, this man has bags of experience.
He does, and this is, I think, the story of the night. You have guys that are playing for the first time or second style that didn't play a lot, but what you have is experience.
Yeah.
With Lennon and Hennessy. That's what you get with those players, and that's why I think Sean Dyche is not panicking about starting them. And I guess he didn't have any other choice, by the way. But you do have experience, and that's massive when you come to those places.
Well, in his first 4 games in charge, Ralph Rangnick remains unbeaten, but he was far from happy with the performance against Newcastle United on Monday night. Let's hear from him now with Gabriel Clark.
Ralph, it's 3 weeks, longer than 3 weeks since your first game here at Old Trafford. You're back now. You've had some disruption in that time, but what have you learnt about the scale of the job in that time?
Well, we would have wished to be able to train more, but this was impossible because we had to close Carrington for 4 days, and therefore we couldn't train that much. But well, we made the best out of the situation. We worked on video footage and working with the team on the theory part, and that's what we tried to do.
You've changed 6 of your 10 outfield positions from Newcastle. Why so many?
Well, it's about fresh legs, fresh energy. We played only 3 days ago against a team that hasn't played for a while. And I mean, the players that play today, they are experienced players. They used to play in the starting 11 a couple of weeks ago. So for me, it was logical to make those changes.
And what do you hope to see in particular from your 2 new fullbacks in this formation?
Well, they're in their best possible position. Luke has always played as a left back, and the same with Aaron. So for them, it's nothing new. They play in their position. They are physically strong. They are defensively strong. And this is what I want to see from them.
And what's the first thing that has to be better than Newcastle?
Well, it's always a question of energy, even more so against tough teams. And this is a tough team. It's difficult to play against Burnley. Very tenacious, very stubborn, and very direct in their way that they play. So it's all about energy. If we have the higher energy level today, in order to do that, we also need to be disciplined tactically, but it's all about energy in the end. And if the energy level of our team is higher in front of 75,000, this should be the case, I think we have a good chance to win the game at the end.
Well, that plays into my last question. How important is it to end in style, to play with a United style, a Ralf Rangnick style, the final game of the year?
It's always important in football, even more so for our team. This is what the fans would like to see, what I would like to see, that we're playing together, that we are playing, defending, attacking together, and as I said, on the highest possible level of energy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thierry, you were here right at the start of the month when they beat Arsenal 3-2. Michael Carrick's last game in charge, Rangnick was waiting in the wings. So 4 games in, it seems a bit harsh to be asking this question, but what's your verdict on Rangnick so far?
You said it yourself, it's a tough one to judge a coach that's very little games, some games were postponed, as we all know, and especially on the back of the Newcastle game, it would be easy to say that we didn't see anything, we didn't see any improvement, but that will come with time. What was very unlike United, what I saw against United, was a desire. It doesn't matter if it's Rangnick the coach or Solskjaer or what, you need to have desire when you wear that shirt, and they didn't have that on the night.
The strange thing is this man is a long-term builder, but he's been brought in to do a short-term job. Is it still an appointment that perplexes you slightly?
Short-term job, maybe on the bench, but I think it would be a long-term job being in the stand.
Yeah.
So regardless of what it is, it will be a long-term job, and maybe he will have a say on who's going to come next. I don't know what you think, boss, about it.
Now, I think when you look at the coaches through your career, you see what type of coach you are. You come in and you just use everything you've got to win on the weekend. We know that Ralf Rangnick is another type of coach. He's a coach that he likes to build the football club, brings concepts, philosophy, gets the best out of everyone. And I think it's interesting that probably his job in the next 2 seasons will change the next 10 years of Manchester United. Probably now it's just we're seeing that Manchester United, you haven't got time for transition. And that's why the previous coach was lost his job. I think now is a different job than what we're going to see Ralf Rangnick at the end of the season. And now he's finding a system that he suits the players that he's got, and he needs to get wins. Man United needs to get into the top 4 positions in the league.
Well, let's talk more about that system, because so much talked about that 4-2-2-2 system he was playing. Appears to have gone 4-4-2 tonight. Did that system that he was using in the games against the likes of Norwich and Newcastle actually creating more problems than it was solving?
No, I think obviously that system against Norwich and Crystal Palace, teams that they want to play from the back, that front 4 help a lot because they could react and they win the ball high up the pitch and create chances. The understanding between Bruno Fernandes and Cristiano Ronaldo, it was working really well.
So why has he changed it tonight?
I think when you see it here, looking back at Newcastle, what Newcastle did very well, they were not too bothered about jumping out to the ball. They were keeping it very condensed. They were defending that central area, and that put a lot of stress, as you can see here, Bruno Fernandes to the fullbacks. The position of the fullbacks was key, and you couldn't see that chemistry, that fluency in Manchester United. You can see it here, giving the ball away. The only space of the front 4 players was in behind. And that room for Bruno Fernandes only happened once in 90 minutes, and Newcastle ended up defending well. Again, you will see now Newcastle condensing the central area. Those forward positions, the 4 players, are really well defended. There is no space. It's the fullback that he could give that width, and we couldn't see that almost focus on the fullbacks. They couldn't really take that into an advantageous position. Newcastle won many 1v1 situations, and even here, look at this situation where the forward 4 players plus the fullback is inside. It was so difficult to find space to be able to open up a well committed Newcastle side. Those wide areas are where the space was, and that only happened twice. You can see this action where Dalot gets into the ball, great timing, and that's a goal that Cavani scores. And that on the right hand side happened once in 90 minutes, and that would be a disappointment of Ralf Rangnick. And on the left hand side, Alex Telles arrives with a good timing, and that gave another clear-cut opportunity to Cavani. Only 2 opportunities in 90 minutes, and that's why I think we're going to see a change tonight, using more in a natural position, that with natural wingers like Jadon Sancho and Greenwood, maybe in the opposite foot, but more using the fullback in a conventional manner without putting too much pressure on the roles of Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw.
Thierry, in terms of what happens tonight, is this the night that United really click? What are you expecting?
Well, they have to. They must. I actually don't know if it's going to happen tonight. We were talking about it with the boss before. I sense something that can happen tonight for Burnley, but maybe I'm wrong. The boss thinks that it's going to click tonight for Man United. But regardless of what we are thinking, they must click tonight, especially after what they showed against Newcastle. And again, look, I mean, you go at Burnley, but this is Burnley at home. After what you showed against Newcastle, you must show something different, way different than what you showed against Newcastle the other day.
What will Sean Dyche want to see from his team in that opening 10 to 15 minutes, Roberto?
That sharpness. You don't want to see a player that is almost a player that it looks like that he hasn't played for 18 days, that he hasn't got that concentration. The last thing you want to do is concede a goal in the first 10 minutes, because then the game could be over for Burnley. But I'm sure that that's nothing new. We've seen Burnley being competitive even without getting the results, so I don't think that will be an issue.
Well, Ralph Rangnick didn't like his team's performance on Monday night away to Newcastle. He's shaken up the personnel and the formation tonight. Will it bring rewards against Burnley, who haven't kicked a ball in anger in nearly 3 weeks? Manchester United against Burnley, the final league fixture of 2021 in the Premier League, comes next.
Incredible, down to the last round. We've got to get busier, we've got to dig deeper. Show them every mile you put in. Go through the pain of area. He's up and he's back in the front.
This was a real test, pushing EE full fibre to the limit.
Hi, this is Cambridge Airport over your EE router. Video feeds, the data feeds, all of this is real time.
Step 1 Alpha, suburbia Ox, so you're on frequency.
Step 1 Alpha, maintaining 3,000 feet, heading 050 degrees.
Runway 23 available for landing.
Copy, Step 1 Alpha.
Congratulations, everybody. Well
I can't
done.
believe we just landed a plane.
This is broadband that can handle anything. This is full fibre from EE.
I've always wanted to do that.
We'll have one of everything. I always wanted to do this.
Always wanted to do that. Morning. Nice to meet you.
I'm just still getting.
Let's try this a different way. Move your shoulders, more energy into a liquid. Very good. Ollie, what's going on, mate? Whoa, whoa, whoa. If you need anything, come see me. Like this. Is that any better?
Nice one, sir.
See you tomorrow.
Teaching. Every lesson shapes a life. Search Get Into Teaching.
The first 7 seconds. 7 seconds to know if you love it or you hate it. 7 seconds of impulse. 7 freaking irrational seconds. I don't want to try to convince you. 7 seconds is enough. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cooper for Mentor, e-hybrid.
The world of credit cards can be intimidating. But what if there was someone who could make it less so? Someone who protects what's yours. Someone who helps you avoid nasty surprises. Someone who, when they offer you something, gives you exactly that thing. Someone who isn't just doing credit. Someone who is doing credit the way it should be done. Capital One. That's credit done right.
I
The final game at Old Trafford of 2021, a year that has seen a change in manager, the return of a favourite son in Cristiano Ronaldo, and a year that ends with the visit of Burnley, who've barely seen a game this month. Plenty more to come from Roberto Martinez and Thierry Henry at half-time and full-time. The time now to join our commentary team here at Old Trafford. We're in the company this evening of Ali McCoist and John Champion. Gents, a very good evening to you. It's been such an unpredictable festive period. Does tonight, this game, have a little bit of an air of unpredictability about it?
I think there's a bit of a banana skin about this, Ali, isn't there? We've seen Manchester United slip up in their terms at Newcastle. We've seen Liverpool embarrassed. We've seen Chelsea caught late on. So, I mean, what have you made of Manchester United in 2021, and is this another potential problem fixture for them?
Do you know what I think, how I would describe them so far? Unconvincing, John, I'd really say so, particularly under Ralph Rangnick's reign so far. It is, of course it's early days, only 4 games, a couple of draws and a couple of 1-0 victories. But the best way I would describe him at this moment in time, unconvincing.
Well, this is the broadest stage that the Premier League has to offer. Its biggest arena. And arguably, because of the profile of the club that live here, its sharpest spotlight. Old Trafford, the setting for the 408th and last top-flight fixture of the calendar year 2021. We began amidst empty stands and terraces. Happily, we have a full house tonight. Manchester United always a topic of conversation now as much as ever, as they continue to search for a future that can match their past, and providing the opposition perhaps the most consistently stubborn and curmudgeonly members of the Premier League, Burnley, who've developed a habit of frustrating Manchester United here. Winners on this ground 2 years ago. And on the eve of Sir Alex Ferguson's 80th birthday, a graphic salute to the architect of the modern Manchester United. Beyond question, the greatest football manager this country has ever seen. A man who specialised in defying the implausible. And the man who also linked up so well with Cristiano Ronaldo when he was a young player. A legacy that stands alone, but also serves to emphasise the shortcomings since his departure. Sir Alexander Chapman Ferguson, who turns 80 tomorrow. Manchester United lining up 7 games unbeaten in all competitions. Burnley 7 draws in their last 10 matches. 6 changes to the Manchester United lineup that drew at Newcastle on Monday. There are first league starts under Ralph Rangnick for 3 of the back 4, Wan-Bissaka, Shaw and Bailly. Also for Matic in midfield and Cavani up top. Bruno Fernandes is suspended. Marcus Rashford only a substitute. And Ronaldo faces Burnley for the first time.
Yeah, John, definitely strengthened for me with the fact Wan-Bissaka returns at right back and indeed Shaw at left back, more solid. Not a big fan of the 4-2-2. Delighted to see Sancho wide and Greenwood. Surely, Greenwood, Cavani, Ronaldo and Sancho, that's 3 goals.
I mean, look at this, guys.
Burnley have had 18 days without a game, but rather than gaining players in that time, they've lost a few. Tonight, no Nick Pope because of COVID. So Wayne Hennessy is for the Clarets for the first time. They're also deprived of Jay Rodriguez. That means just a second Premier League start of the season for Aaron Lennon. It is also a short-handed bench from which Barnes, Cornet and Brownhill are also missing.
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed not to see Cornet, who's a player that excites me. Well, no, Sean, it was interesting to hear him beforehand, John. He mentioned when he might play in that number 10 role. He's a big fan of 4-4-2. I don't see him changing 4-2-3-1. And I think Lennon will play off Wood. Key defensively, obviously, Tarkowski and the skipper Lee, who will have to be on top of their game this evening.
A tale of 2 Aarons. Ralph Rangnick's unhappiness with Monday's display at Newcastle evidence in his team selection. The inclusion of Aaron Wan-Bissaka showing that he wants and needs far more from his fullbacks. And Aaron Lennon gets the call in extremis for a Burnley squad shorn of 3 strikers. He first played here as a teenager with Leeds. However, in 27 career appearances against Manchester United, he has yet to score. Sean Dyche, rapturously applauded by the small pockets of Burnley supporters. He and Ralph Rangnick have met once before in a bar for a beer after a Leaders in Sport conference a few years back. Teams will change ends. 2021, arguably a year of regression for both these clubs. Manchester United began it in second place in the league and are now 7th. Burnley previously flirted with the prospect of relegation, but this time the danger just seems that bit more vivid. David De Gea, who has been back to his consistently excellent best this season, and Wayne Hennessy, whose last Premier League appearance was for Crystal Palace 18 months ago. Players will take the need to reinforce the message that racism has no place in society. Referee is John Moss. Manchester United under new management, but yet to convince. Burnley have avoided defeat here in 4 of the last 5 seasons. Indeed, in 3 of the last 4 games that they played on this ground, they have at one stage or another led by 2 goals to nil.
I think they're that kind of team, John, really. I saw them last season away from home, and I couldn't see them getting a point, honestly. And then I can't remember when it was, but then the following week they go to Liverpool. I think they won certainly 2 years ago, and it's just one of these teams. They're a dangerous opponent, particularly in this position where we've said it all along, John. We fancy them to pick up points, but they need to pick up points.
Here is Nemanja Matic. Scott McTominay. Fred has been left out.
Tarkowski. Back with Hennessy.
And of course, that's the Burnley we've come to know, but is this the same Burnley? They are an ageing squad. 10 of the players are out of contract this summer.
One back by 1 second. McTominay.
I think it's a massive period for Burnley moving forward, John. I really do.
Goodmanson.
I think it's vital that this season in particular, with these changes that will be made in the next 12-18 months, that they do stay in the top flight. Listen, Sean Dyche knows better than anyone, myself included, how important it is to stay in the top flight. And they're just one of these teams you fancy them to pick up results and get enough points to do that. Having said that, they're still going to do it.
Here's Luke Shaw. And now Harry Maguire. 3 of the back 4 that played in that disappointing display at Newcastle on Monday have been switched out.
It was disappointing though. I mean, I watched the game. First thing you've got to say, it was brilliant. I thought the fans at St James's Park were in tremendous voice. Great to hear again. I just thought that Newcastle did play well and probably should have won the game. However, you've got to be brutally honest and say it was a very inept performance from United.
Taylor. Mee.
Skipper Ben Mee.
That's it, lads.
By Wan-Bissaka. McTominay. He's fouled by Jack Cork.
Yeah, all over him there, didn't give any time at all. McTominay wanted to take it in, Cork all over them.
Binary results for Ralph Rangnick so far. 1-1 draw to pair of 1-0 wins. Here is Johan Berg Goodmanson. Dwight McNeil. Matthew Lowton. Lovely ball towards Chris Wood, who has scored here in 2 of the last 3 seasons.
And by the way, that's a chance. An interesting ball, initial ball from Goodmanson. If McNeil's got a right foot, he hits that with his right foot. He doesn't. He should be smashing that with his right foot. Goes back out. This is a lovely delivery in. He's well onside Wood. I'm not sure whether does he see it a little bit late. I'm not sure, but he should do better with the header. That's a chance. Make no mistake, that's a proper chance.
Greenwood. Matic. Cristiano Ronaldo. Now it's Luke Shaw. Jadon Sancho. Away by McNeil. Aaron Lennon.
Go on, Lennon.
Against Manchester United at the tender age of 16 for Leeds. That's a good ball. Flag stays down for now, and Wood has a go. And now the flag is raised.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because the first thing I did, I looked up and I could see Chris Wood at the top of your picture. He does try and hold his line. He tries to hold it. He's probably just offside. He's a little bit unlucky, but again, a good break from Burnley in the early stages. They have started very brilliantly, opening 5 minutes or so. You and I were speaking before the game started, John. It's very easy in the eye McNeil to watch. I know I was a little bit critical there, not using his right foot, but he does take it in lovely. There's a smashing left foot. Very easy on the eye.
Here's one of the few younger players in this Burnley lineup. In fact, today's side, starting 11 for Burnley, is the oldest they've ever fielded in a Premier League game. Cristiano Ronaldo in on goal, early chance, and for once the scripts went awry.
There's 2 touches here. The first one is absolutely immaculate. Immaculate. This is a great ball from Shaw. The first touch from Ronaldo, the header is brilliant. That there to open up for him, and he tries to side foot it, where what he should do, I'm telling Ronaldo what to do here, he should put his foot through it and keep it low. Wow, what an open game, first 5.5 minutes. Lovely ball from Shaw, but listen John, the touch, his initial touch with the header to create the space for him to hit first time's magic. The finish, really poor for Ronaldo.
Promising opening here. Only eager to get going after the most disruptive experience for any team over Christmas. 18 days without a match, 3 games called off.
It's going to be an interesting evening. 6 minutes gone and I'm telling Ronaldo what to do.
I'm wondering where you're going next. Maybe if we linger on Sir Alex, you could explain to him where we went wrong over those 27 years.
It's a free kick, but I don't mind it. Absolutely don't mind it. He's in about, I'm not giving him any time at all there, Aaron Lennon.
Greenwood. McTominay. Wan-Bissaka. Greenwood. Second bite at it for Mason Greenwood. Cristiano Ronaldo. Then McTominay! Of the season for Scott McTominay. Ronaldo with the assist. Tomorrow's birthday boy with the applause.
It's a brilliant touch from Ronaldo. I'm not convinced he's not trying to hit it with his left foot himself. However, ball comes back to Greenwood. Takes a touch here. I think he might be wanting to open it up to hit himself, Ronaldo there, to be honest with you, John. But it falls beautifully for McTominay. Hits it early, side foot, goalkeeper no chance. Starts outside the post, lovely finish. Goalkeeper's probably unsighted as well.
Jesus Christ, how did they finish? Who scored? Ronaldo?
Greenwood's excellent. Ronaldo takes a touch. I'm not convinced, as I say. I think he might have been looking to open up and hit it with his left foot himself. McTominay's there, 1-0.
Oh.
Since he scored in 3 in a row in February. An early settler for the home team.
I knew that would happen straight away.
Goodmanson. Sancho.
Use all my pounds up so I could get about 2 programmes. Actually.
BURNLEY with his 15th goal for Manchester United, playing in a team with a front two who between them have scored 1,250 goals. McNeil. Lowton. And Goodmanson. Burnley not without their chances here.
Absolutely. Terrific ball from Lowton. Really is. Wonderfully worked as well.
Goodmanson. Left back Charlie Taylor. McNeil. From Manchester United junior. The Icelander Goodmanson. Working pretty well for Burnley so far, having Goodmanson who normally plays on the right on the left and vice versa with McNeil.
The switch at this moment in time looks fine. I know they're 1-0 down, not ideal, but they've knocked the ball about, they've created 2 or 3 chances. That's for sure.
Manchester United having just become the last Premier League team this season to register a goal in the opening quarter of an hour of a game. McNeil.
Lovely ball,
lovely ball. Not matched by the touch by Goodmanson. Greenwood. It's a good escape from Manchester United. Jadon Sancho. Free kick.
Yeah, good defending Lowton there. Stands his ground with Sancho running at him. Earns a free kick from short. Lovely ball this at Lowton, it really is. Great delivery. And it's a great effort, it really is. He keeps it down well, good block. Gives him some shot there, blocked by Wan-Bissaka obviously, but they're certainly getting a bit of width. Burnley getting balls into the box, which you think would certainly suit Wood.
Lennon picking up the pieces. Lennon, who's back from a season or so in Turkey for a second stint with the Clarets. To say, Ali, I found your criticism of Ronaldo a little harder to take, bearing in mind your only career appearance on this ground was a 0-0 draw with Sunderland. I can't imagine you were perfect that day. In fact, I know you weren't because I was here.
I tell you what I do remember. We could have nicked it with 5 minutes to go. Stan Cummings had a chance, so it could have been a happier story, but nil each, not bad, I have to say. Old Trafford, Sunderland, you take that.
I was here on a school trip.
Yeah, I believe that.
Cool. There'll be a stoppage.
Yeah. He's tried to come across and get in front of Wan-Bissaka there, hasn't he? You see him come across here. Just the way he lands it, it's the way he lands, definitely. I don't think there's any contact in the actual challenge. Probably winded there. Hopefully that's all it is. Goodmanson.
Ali Beattie, the physio, leading the treatment for behind Goodmanson. Noticed that the Burnley players are wearing black armbands tonight as a tribute to Jimmy Robson, who passed away recently, a member of the Burnley team that won the Football League title back in 1960 in 38 of the 42 games that season. So the difference between the sides, a quarter of an hour in. This from Scott McTominay.
Yeah, it's a lovely finish. Starts outside the post, as she just wants to concentrate on the finish, doesn't try to smash it. Very, very composed finish from McTominay. You think probably Hennessy's slightly unsighted, the defender coming across him. I don't think there's probably any chance anyway, but it's perfect start for Manchester United. Strange one for Sean Dyche. It really is 15 minutes gone, because they've actually knocked the ball about and looked very, very comfortable within the game itself. But as we know, it's all about the goals.
You're detecting a bit more purpose, a bit more energy at Manchester United.
I really am, to be honest with you. I really do. McTominay's done a bright start, out with the goal, the Shell at the bright start. And Ralph Rangnick did say beforehand, John, prior to the game starting, he mentioned energy was key. So it shouldn't be too much more of a surprise. I think they're certainly lacking in that in periods of the game against Newcastle. I don't think anybody could deny that.
Westwood, Wood. Cavani. Matic. Eric Bailly. They'll be heading off to the Africa Cup of Nations.
It's an interesting tactic there, John, with the going long. You can see McTominay's actually dropping back to pick up Wood, which allows the two centre-backs to keep the position. Quite intelligent, really.
Sancho. And Saka's made a diagonal run to take a couple of defenders out of the way.
I'm not sure it was a great run, actually. He kept out the road. I think his intent was correct.
By Shaw. It's a free kick. Here's McTominay. And by Lowton. Manchester United 8 points worse off than they were at the corresponding stage last season. Burnley, worryingly for them, 5 points inferior to last season's record, and they finished one above the bottom three. Matic. Sancho. Joined us late. No Bruno
Sorry,
Fernandes
guys.
because of suspension.
I'll just get
Still injured.
Blackpool
Lindelof out with
programmes.
COVID.
Can I show you which ones I got? So, Blackpool versus Luton.
COVID has also stopped
I
Burnley
think
sadly
that's a
these
bit
past few
bright.
days, so without their first choice goalkeeper, Nick Pope.
That one there.
Rodriguez.
I got that one.
The likely subs missing too. Kevin Long. Brownhill. Ashley Barnes still injured.
Blackpool versus Sunderland.
Burnley
Shaw.
retreat.
He's having it.
Away. flash
I
on the
got
outside of the netting.
Blackpool vs Southend, Blackpool vs Oxford, and Blackpool
That's a lovely touch.
vs West Brom.
Back off.
I got 1, 2,
just have a hit.
3, 4, 5,
As you never hit the target,
and that one, Blackpool vs Oxford.
And it's a big
I'll show
chance
you
for
when they
Sean
come.
because Alex Telles and Diogo Dalot clearly didn't do the job that Rangnick required of them the other night.
No. And I said beforehand when we mentioned the teams, and I honestly think United are strengthened by the return of the 2 fullbacks. I think the 2 better players, so I think United are a better team for them within them.
Shaw, Sancho,
Matic. Greenwood. Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah! Yeah! Home! I gave it to you!
Win under their belts this season.
I gave it to you!
Brentford. Lots of draws.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, you and I speaking again beforehand. Strange to suss them out. They clearly really don't want to be, and that's the trouble. One victory so far, as you say, against Brentford, clearly is not good enough. There's 7 draws out the last 10. So they're doing something right.
And they've got the same number of defeats as Arsenal and West Ham. Yeah. Albeit they played 3 or 4 games fewer. That's a free kick. By Matic.
Yeah, he's proving his innocence, but I think he catches him. Good touch there. Yeah, it's a free kick for him, John. Wilson goes down there. Under the challenge from Matic, it's an opportunity. As you would expect, they'll have a few up. Me, Tarkowski, Wood.
James Tarkowski, who's a childhood Manchester United fan, scored on this ground last season from a set piece. De Gea came and didn't get much of a fist to it, if any.
I think that's a chance as well. You know, I think it's a great delivery in. As soon as the goalkeeper comes and doesn't get anything on it.
McNeil. To be reined in by Goodmanson. Still a heavy artillery forward for Burnley. The ever-willing Westwood. Goodmanson. This time it's Jack Cork. And now Lennon.
It's not bad. I'll tell you, it's not bad. He's expecting somebody to hold a position at the back post. If it likes a person like Wood, you would expect him to hold his position at the back post. He doesn't. It didn't look good, the cross, but I don't think it's as bad as it looked, you know.
A great portion of the first half, McTominay's goal separating these sides. Burnley not without moments to encourage them. Cristiano Ronaldo. McTominay. Sancho. It's Cavani. Sancho. McTominay out to Greenwood. Greenwood firing it goalwards and Mee turns it away.
Yeah, not the worst cross, Greenwood. He's not wanting to beat the defender, just wants to get half a yard and cross it, which he does. Then swinging corner coming in, I would suspect.
Matic has gone to stand right in front of the keeper to stop Hennessy getting off his line. To Shaw. And Cavani back in. Bailly. Cavani. Shaw wants it on his left. So does Matic. It was a poor first touch. And Burnley have got away with it.
Yeah, a scrappy play all round there. Shaw was wanting it on his left side, come back onto it. And the chance
guys, and I got the Jimmy on field one as well. So the snitch. This the line.
Arriving in the nick of time in front of Chris Wood.
Yeah, good defender. I just wondered where Luke Shaw was there when that ball got played over the top. That was a bit of a mystery. And Harry Maguire was asking the same question.
McNeil to take the ball.
Exhibiting a little bit of discomfort after that clearance. It's meant to be marking James Tarkowski here. Way too much on it, didn't we?
Yeah, it's just too much on it. Everything's good about the final end product. He wants it played back to him, and the way the pass was good for him to hit the first time. It's perfect for him to hit the first time, but he got it all wrong.
Burnley, the most recent Premier League club to abandon the model of local family ownership and fall into the hands of American owners. Alan Pace, the chairman, spends most of his time over here now.